Does time travel exist? Well, if you want to literally get in a machine and travel back through the years, then you can leave the argument up to the physicists. But in terms of traveling back to eras gone by and across the unspoilt, beautiful countryside, then yes, of a surety, time travel exists.
Less than 10 miles from the city of Bradford lies the beautiful village of Haworth, a village steeped in history. Here lived the famous Bronte sisters, authors of the world-renowned novels Jane Eyre, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and Wuthering Heights, to name but a few. Not much has changed in this village. Tourists flock here each year to visit the famous Bronte Museum and to see some of the local sights. I'm going to be looking at some of the things that inspired these extraordinary women to become the writers the world will never forget. The sisters had all the inspiration they needed for their novels on their very doorstep. In the book Jane Eyre, our heroine flees across these very moors in an attempt to escape her broken heart.
So this area here is called the Bronte Waterfall, and it's about 2 miles away from the village of Haworth and the home of the Bronte sisters. Now, what's really significant about this area and these particular women is the fact that they didn't romanticize about far off distant countries. Everything that they loved about this area, they epitomized it in their stories. It's set in some really beautiful countryside, as you can see. It's really nice, and it's about 2 miles away from the actual Bronte Museum and the village with the cemetery. It's a really, really beautiful area here. Behind me is one of the most famous ruins in the UK. In a place called Top Withens, we have this house which was the inspiration for Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Any of you who have read the book or seen the film, the eerie Heathcliff and the ghost of Cathy, and that absolutely annoying song from Kate Bush, this is the place, Wuthering Heights. It lies just 1.25 miles away from the Bronte Falls, and it's an amazing place with some really steep inclines, some fantastic hills and views. So the walk up here, a bit tough, but really worth it. And you can see the house, the ruins in the distance, and it's kind of teasing you because it looks relatively near, but it just takes a lifetime to get to. But when you get here, not only are you rewarded by the views, but it's also that satisfaction to know that you've made it, but then you have that daunting feeling of having to take that walk back again. But surely it's going to be a pleasure.
The UK is full of beautiful hidden locations like Haworth. What are you doing sitting at home? Such is the artistry of Allah, who disposes of all things in perfect order.